here for this opening tip-off. Of course, John, we didn't touch on it. It's almost not worth mentioning, except that it is. Stout has a former pointer that plays for them in A.J. Utek. Interesting, he has now played 3 games against the Pointers, has scored 46 points. He averages 9.7, but he averages 15 against his former team.
And he had a monster game at Stout and really led them to that 83-67 victory, Scotty. So let's just say there's some extra motivation there.
I think so. Stout coming in 8-11 overall, 4-4 in the conference. They will go with a group tonight that includes 6'3" sophomore Dominic Schwarzenberger out of Bloomer, Wisconsin. 6'2" junior Colin Vick. And Colin Vick is out of Owatonna, Minnesota. 6'4" freshman Wesley Mboga from Eau Claire Memorial. 6'4" junior Mason Stoik from Eau Claire Memorial. And 6'5" junior Nolan Stoffaker from Columbus, Wisconsin. Stout coached by Tom Webb in his first season as the interim coach. Stevens Point with 6'5" junior Seth Myron from Appleton, Kimberly High. 6'2" junior Josiah Butler, Appleton, Fox Valley Lutheran. 6' sophomore Carter Combs from Stevens Point. 6'4" junior Logan Bumgartner from Medford. And 6'6" sophomore Grant Muntz from Kiel, Wisconsin. Of course, the Pointers coached by Kent Dernbach in his 3rd season, 3rd plus, if you will. And the Pointers 15-4 overall, 5-3 in conference play.
Scotty, we do have a nice crowd here tonight. You know, that can almost be a motivator for the visitors too. When Stout beat us at their place, they had 138 fans in the place. They're going to play in front of, maybe 10 times that many tonight. And who doesn't like to play in front of a big crowd, whether it's yours or somebody else's? So nice to see the people out again tonight.
No question about that. All right, let's see if the Pointers can get the job done here. We would love to have a game where you cruised at the end, but I doubt that that's going to happen. Just win by 1, right? Grant Muntz wins the opening tip.
This is the WIAC, Scotty. You don't get that privilege.
Yeah, not often anyway. Myron, Bumgartner, left side, Combs. Carter down to Logan in the left corner. Stevens Point first possession, bounces it down. Myron on the left baseline. Now he's got a much smaller Vick who pokes it away and steals it. You have to be ready for that. He's really good at it. Vick picked up by Josiah Butler, gets into the lane, bounces it back out to Schwarzenberger. Handoff here into the lane, jump stop. No shot available. Out on the perimeter, it'll go to Stoik. Stoik finds Stoffaker. Back out on top, it'll go Schwarzenberger. Stopped his dribble, and that one's going to be a Pointer pickup off the turnover by Stout.
Well,
we haven't had a shot yet.
No, back-to-back turnovers, one for each team.
Josiah Butler working, bounces it down. This time Grant Muntz on the baseline. Tries to get inside, goes reverse, and the Pointers lead it.
Yeah, beat him to the opposite side of the bucket. He went baseline.
Grant is getting better and better.
Yeah, with extra playing time with the absence of Cal Crone, he is getting better and better.
Stoffaker up at the top of the circle. Grant almost poked that one away. Stoffaker holds the dribble there against Grant. Sends it across the way. Stoik working against Seth. Left wing pass will go Schwarzenberger. Schwarzenberger off the screen, takes it to the free throw circle, off to Vick.
Yeah, he did.
He traveled with the ball.
Actually, he kind of shuffled those feet, not by much, but you could see him picking up. The left foot picked up off the floor.
So Point up by 2 and with the ball. Seth in the front court. Sends it over to Grant Muntz at the arc. Grant back over left side, shot in the air, off the rim, no, rebound inside Mboga.
Didn't really catch that one in balance. Logan came out and off a pick and was...
Vick down the lane, ball popped free, picked up by Seth Myron. He'll take it to the other end, down the lane, fouled going in.
Well, taking advantage of a couple early Blue Devil turnovers.
Yep. That fouls on Wesley Mboga.
To finish my thought in that last possession, Logan came off the screen and kind of tripped himself. He was able to get back up and balanced and got the shot off.
Myron at the line for the first time here this evening. Boy, Seth has been playing well.
Yep, 27 last time out against Platteville.
Makes the first free throw. Pointers grab a 3-0 lead. Skyward Incorporated, connecting parents and education. Seth will try to make it a 4-0 lead, and he's got it. So point up, 4-0 here at the start of the ball game. Still plenty of time to find a seat if you're out and about. Front court, Schwarzenberger off to Vic. Runs right side, dishes back up, Schwarzenberger. High left, it'll go there to Stoik. Stoik off Stoffaker. Leaves it on top for Stoik. Stoik to the free throw line. Almost had it stripped away. Turnaround jumper, rolls it off the rim. No, Logan with a rebound. Off it'll go to Carter. The Pointers will bring it up by 4. Carter Combs, cross court, it'll go. Myron, handoff Butler. No chance to shoot it, but he'll get into the lane. Sends it to the right corner to Carter, right back out. Josiah gets going, left side, gets down to the baseline, then covered up. Lobs it out now, Logan, 8 on the shot clock. Myron with a triple. Oh, buried it. Well, 7-0 point.
Pointers hit 15 of 34 threes against Platteville.
Schwarzenberger bounces it off. Stoffaker working with the left-hand dribble, stops near the top of the circle. Over on the left wing, Mboga, guarded by Logan. Vic at the top of the circle against Josiah. Hands it off there. Schwarzenberger working against Butler, down to the block.
Wow.
Fadeaway jumper, rolls off the rim, tipped down the wing, picked up there. Stoffaker into the lane, almost had it poked away, keeps it up, bumps into Logan, gives back out. Stoffaker now. Leaves it back on top. Schwarzenberger got by Butler down low, blocked away by Grant and out of bounds. 6 on the shot clock.
Scotty, I thought that as they got that first shot off in the possession, when there was about 4 in the shot clock, I thought there was a little left arm push off to clear himself. No call. But they've got 6 left on this shot clock with their second chance opportunity.
Josh Booker is going to come in early for Grant Muntz. Good to have Josh back. 7-0 point. Now you have to be ready to defend right off the inbound. Here you go.
There it
inbound
is.
It will come. They didn't launch the shot. Stoik down to 3 seconds now. Stoffaker taking Booker down the lane.
It's not going to count.
They're not going to get it off prior to the shot clock.
You know, that ball got knocked out high above the arc, and that cost an extra second on the drive, and he just wasn't able to get to that shooting spot in the 6 seconds that were remaining.
Yeah, you're fortunate, because Book's got to keep him on the perimeter there, not let him get to the basket, but easy for me to say. Carter Combs will bring it up.
He was just playing that 6 seconds.
There you go. Booker on the high left side. Josh working toward the baseline, stops and gives it off. Butler. Josiah off the screen, wanted a pick and roll, wasn't available. Over to the right corner, it'll go to Myron. Driving baseline, Seth backing his way down against Mboga. Picks it up underneath Booker. He'll lay it up and in with the left hand.
Tell you what, Seth's hot beginning drew a lot of eyes from the defense, and they forgot about Booker behind.
Point jumps to a 3-0 lead. A.J. Utek in, guarded by Booker now, down to the baseline. Utek got inside, draws the foul.
And that's what he was able to do over in Menominee. What was that, on January 14th? And we're going to have to find a way to keep him from penetrating. He's so strong.
He is quick and strong. And we get our first timeout, immediate timeout, 15:39 to go. Let's take a 1-minute break. We will be right back. UW Stevens Point men's basketball, WPCN. the quant. Stout finally on the board. A.J. Utek makes the first free throw. He'll get a second.
A.J. is 6'2", which is good size for a guard. But he's really put together. When he's not in class, it looks as though he's in the weight room because
that might be his major.
he's got a set of pipes on him.
Seth Myron to bring it up, 9 2-pointers. Carter Combs works the dribble toward the right wing. Gives back out on top. Left side, it'll go to Myron. Wants another three. That one's offline. Rebound, pulled down by Vic. Here they come. 9-2-point Vic. Top of the circle, heads right down to the baseline, shovels it out. Mboga's triple, got it.
Yep, Seth got caught inside trying to help stop the ball, and they kicked that out Mboga and wide open.
So 9-5. Booker, hands off. Myron, Stevens Point. Got out to the quick lead. Butler drops it in. Booker on the baseline, knocks down the jump shot.
Boy, if you get some buckets down there on the baseline from Josh, that's helpful.
Yep. Max Raymer getting set to come in. Vic works right wing dribble off the screen. They got it to Shore inside, and he is fouled.
Well, they'll make him get the free throws, but that was that high ball screen, and then we both went to the ball handler, and he just rolled and was wide open. I thought it was going to be a dunk.
Foul called on Logan.
Josh Booker over with the trainer, Scotty. You might have jammed a finger.
Yep.
Yeah. He didn't dislocate it because I took a look. There was no dislocated fingers. Was it Brant Bailey once that had the severe dislocation and at half court showed it to the entire crowd? But that was years ago.
Shore's first is good.
Yep, the left-hander. 6'10" out of Sterling, Illinois.
Yeah. About 27 years old.
Well,
just kidding now.
He's a graduate.
Only 25 maybe.
He's a graduate, Stu. Don't know how long he's been around.
Second one coming up. He got them both. So they are 4 out of 4 from the line, which means keep them off the line. 11-7 is your score. Max Raymer in the ball game for Stevens Point. Brings it up against UTEC. Up along the right side, Seth Myron against Mboga. Stopped his dribble on the perimeter. Gets it back to Josiah. Butler finds Myron, sends it left. Carter Combs off the screen from Seth. Left wing, Raymer runs baseline, got caught in deep, missed the shot, rebound. Stevens Point, Grant got it back over to Raymer. Nobody was by Max. Grant found him, easy lay-in.
With 1 second on the shot clock. Tell you, Grant must have looked up at the shot clock and saw the 4.
Vic works right, leaves it for UTEC over to the left wing. It'll go there. Schwarzenberger takes it down the lane, and we're going to get another foul on Stevens Point. That one will be on Carter Combs.
They do like to drive it through the gap, the guards. And they do it in an interesting way, almost like a football running back. Once they leave that last foot, they sort of corral it and hold it like a football and going through a hole, and you really can't get at that basketball.
Inbound UTEC, catch, shoot, triple, got it.
Well, that looks like just a few weeks ago, doesn't it?
Yep. 13-10, your 9-0 lead is gone. Butler into the front court. Grant Muntz sends it over. Seth leaves it off for Josiah, who has not had a shot yet. Fakes the 3 against Vic. Now he'll launch the 3, and he dropped it in.
That was well defended. He just did a little step to the side and launched it before Vic recovered.
16-10 point. UTEC trying to get by Myron. Spins, fadeaway jumper off the rim, tipped up once, no, and then Vic there to pick up the loose change and lay it off the glass.
Yep. And we threw it out of bounds.
Yeah.
Unforced error.
16-12, just a
sloppy
bad turnover.
No, just sloppy. Boy, we didn't box out Vic, Scotty. He came all the way.
Vic inbound, poked away by Grant Muntz, picked up by Drew Dowse. Into the front court, runs it out to the corner, gives it back. Raymer wants a triple, not going to go.
Well, good transition look.
Yeah, I'd still like to have worked a little clock and got a better shot than Max trying to triple, but that's just me, UTEC with it. That's modern basketball.
Yep.
It's just my old man theory, I guess. Hayden Shore on the wing, leaves it off there Schwarzenberger gets into the lane, kicks to the wing, 3-ball from the corner, off the rim. Myron with a rebound off the miss by Gavin Johnson, who is just in. So the Pointers up by 4. Josiah Butler working against man-to-man defense off the high screen. Josiah gets to the free throw line, spins into the lane, gives it out to Raymer, runs it back, kick out Myron for 3, got it! Myron an early 8, Pointers up 7.
2 of 3 from behind the arc.
Here comes UTEP. Leaves it again. Vic got by Butler right to the rack, lays it up and in. That was way too easy.
Yeah, that high ball screen's caused us some troubles on occasion. It did right. It certainly did right there.
Doused across the timeline. Granted off to Raymer. Max across the way. It'll go to Myron underneath the Butler. Waited and then knocked out of bounds. They didn't call a foul.
Yeah,
Josiah hesitated. He needed to get that shot up ASAP.
Yeah, he gave Shore a chance to come over, and with that long 6'10" frame, he just stuffed him.
Yeah. Media timeout, 11:44 to go. We'll stay right here. 19-14, but Point will have the ball to inbound under the basket. Partners Pub and Grill in Stevens Point, your pre-gaming headquarters since 1977. Taste the tradition, Stanley Street, Stevens Point. You wouldn't remember way back to 1977 now, John.
Well, I would.
Oh, okay. I was trying to make you a younger person than you are.
My first year of grad school, actually, 1977.
Yeah. Well, nice. Good job for getting into grad school. I was grad school at Partners Pub, I think, at that time.
Getting in wasn't the problem. Getting out was the problem.
There you go. Just a quick, before John updates stats, a quick very happy birthday. We had a nice little birthday celebration for one Patrick Bird Dog Malik today. So if you know Pat Bird Dog, wish him a happy birthday today.
Yep.
All right, stats, John.
Hey, for the Blue Devils, 4 of 9 to start this game. 44%. They've shot 2 threes, hit them both. Pointers 7 of 12, good beginning, 58%, and we've made 3 of 6 from behind the arc. More and more as this season has gone on without Cal, Scotty, we are shooting a higher percentage of our field goals from behind the 3-point line.
That is true. Pointers with the ball off the inbound. Doused leaves it for Myron. Seth trying to get by Vic, got him in deep. Shore steps over, kicks it out. Doused catch, shoot, triple, left that short. Yep. Rebound, Shore down deep. Got a good look, didn't hit it.
He did, and that was short right off the hand.
Yep. In front court, Vic with it. Pointers are up 5 right now. Bounce it over to UTEC on the wing. UTEC got it underneath the Shore, who will throw it down.
Well,
that was, again, too easy.
Yeah, I tell you, UTEC and Shore come off the bench, and they are really good together.
Grant Muntz on the wing. Leaves it off here. A 3 by Myron, spins off the rim. Shore with the rebound. A triple to tie here. Vic into the front court. Gets down the lane against Max. Got in deep, and he overlaid. Rebound Doused. Got in deep and just missed the open look. Baumgartner getting set to come back in. Myron on the wing, hands it to Carter. Combs will hold and drop it in on the baseline to Myron. Skip it through the hands of Doused and out of bounds.
That cutting from the backside and went right through his hands. That's maybe one Drew could have handled, Scotty. It was high.
Yeah. All right, Stout will get it back.
If
Grant out, Logan back in.
If he had caught that, he was headed right at Aiden Shore. And I'm not sure what Drew was going to do if he had that basketball against the big guy.
I was just going to say you're really short right now, and then Josiah comes back in for Drew. You gain 1 inch, but a little experience too. UTEC hands it Vic. Vic off the high screen, works left, hands off the pass there. Almost to travel. Working off the dribble, off on the wing, it'll go there. Vic fumbled it, but got it back from Stoik. It'll go there to Stoffaker. Vic into the lane against Max, holds his spot. Kicks to the corner, Mboga for a triple, off the rim, rebound Logan Baumgartner.
Yeah.
Really good seal off by Logan.
All 3 rebounding positions were well boxed out.
Carter Combs down to the baseline to Myron against Stoffaker down there, sends it over. Carter an open 3, not going to go, long rebound. Nobody went, well, Logan had it, lost it, picked up here Here come the Blue Devils. Front court, UTEC loads up the triple off the rim. Tipped out Logan. On ahead, Carter Combs. He'll take it in against UTEC. Lays it up. No, but a foul.
Well, a little bit of your own medicine there. Carter going strong right at UTEC through the foul.
Yep.
He'll go to the line for 2.
That's only the second team foul, I believe, on the Blue Devils.
Well, that was some quick action up and down the floor. And without Cal, I like that action, Scotty. A little bit quicker offense, a little bit, faster to try to get some open floor opportunities.
2 free throws for Carter Combs. His first is good. His first point in the game. Brandon Tilley, the freshman out of Franklin, coming into the game for Seth Myron right now.
Carter averages 5'6". He's that pass-first mentality point guard, but he's a capable shooter.
Yeah, he is. No doubt about that.
In fact, he's our best percentage three-point shooter.
Made the first free throw, the second one coming up, and got that one. Pointers are up 5.
Well, 9:41 to go. At least it doesn't appear they're going to score 56 in this half.
Well, we'll see. Vic crosses the timeline against Max Raymer. Bounces it Mboga, guarded by Baumgartner. Left side, Schwarzenberger takes Carter into the lane. That's a travel.
Yeah.
No doubt about that.
He put his head down expecting the contact that he could drive through, and Carter actually backed up, and he really fell forward on his own momentum.
So the Pointers will bring it up with Max Raymer working at the point right now. Into the front court. Max almost mishandled it, takes the dribble into the lane, down the lane, shovels it over to Baumgartner. Logan trapped down there, tried to go up and draws a foul.
Hey, good job by Max with the ball in his hand from the top, drawing the defense as he drove down the paint and dished it to Logan. Good patience, gonna shoot 2.
Blinds and Designs by Kelly, locally owned and operated, providing the best Hunter Douglas blinds, shade shutters, and drapes in central Wisconsin. Good luck to the Pointers from Blinds and Designs by Kelly. Logan misses the first free throw.
I was about to say he's 45 of 53 on the season. That's 85%.
Just thinking it, John.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize.
He made the second one. 22-16 Pointers. 9:10 to go, opening half. Vic off the high screen from Stoffaker, sends it back out, Schwarzenberger. Mboga between the rings, crossover against Logan down the lane, blocked away by Logan, picked up underneath by Tilley. On ahead it'll go Josiah, leaves it off for Carter. Carter across the way, underneath, shot won't go for Logan Baumgartner, and they did not whistle a foul.
No, but Brandon Tilley fouled on the rebound for sure.
Yeah.
And, that'll be our, third team foul?
4th, I think.
Yep, 4th. 3 team fouls against the Blue Devils, 8:48 to go. Nobody shooting yet.
All right, 22-16. Vic will bring it right back. Pointer women, by the way, up by 5 at the moment. Left wing pass, Mboga, cut off by Tilley. Good job by Brandon to move those feet. Schwarzenberger, Stoffaker on the right side. Sends it back out. Schwarzenberger down the lane, kicks to the corner, and stepping out of bounds, Mboga.
Teams are running offense so wide now. Oftentimes you see 5 out, more and more and more. And consequently, you see more guys catching the ball out of bounds on the sideline.
That's a fact. Point will bring it up by 6 at the moment. Front court with it is Josiah Butler. A lot of hand checking there by Vic. Josiah gets free, that three-pointer way offline. Never squared up, in all honesty. Schwarzenberger brings it up. Quickly left, wide open, off the rim. Rebounding foul wear on Butler.
Well, they're going to call Butler. There's a bunch of guys tied up with one another, and they're going to say Josiah was the instigator.
Yeah.
That'll be team foul 5, his first.
He got away with Stoik missing the wide open 3. Munson, Myron in, Tilley, and whom out? Logan.
20 seconds on the shot clock.
All right. Stout inbounding under its basket. On the floor, it'll come to Shore. Hand off Vic to the free throw circle. Back over. Schwarzenberger down the lane against Carter. Banks it in. His first 2. That's one of those you throw it up and it goes in. 22-18.
Boy, they do look to get the ball into the paint.
That they do. Up the left wing, Max Raymer. holds it for a moment against Stoik. Long cross court, Butler. Josiah off a screen from Myron, wanted a pick and roll. Seth went back out to the corner, out to Josiah, runs to the elbow. Crossover dribble down to the baseline. Raymer in the corner, 4 seconds, got to get up a shot. Fadeaway jumper off the rim, tipped around and out of bounds. Whose ball?
Going to be Stevens.
I don't see the indication. Yeah.
Well defended by the Blue Devils. Unfortunately, they didn't end that defensive possession with the rebound. We're going to get a second chance here.
7:23 to go, media timeout. Pointers up 4. We'll be back. This is UW Stevens Point men's basketball on WPCN.
We examine lab.
Minutes, 23 seconds to go in the opening half. Stevens Point leads Stout 22-18.
Scotty, of the Pointers, 18 shots, 10 have been from behind the three-point line. In our win over Platteville, we took 55 shots, and 34 were from behind the arc. So we're taking more and more threes, as I mentioned earlier.
Inbound, Seth Myron, pinned down left block, has to bounce it back out to Carter. They'll reset the offense. Seth on the perimeter now. Spins against Mboga. No shot available. Out on top to Carter. 5 on the shot clock. Pull-up jumper. Left it short. Rebound Stout. They lost it out of bounds again. Shore couldn't grab it. Tried to tip it to Mboga, and it went out of bounds. Pointer ball.
Grant Munn's credit for fighting with Shore. It didn't allow him to secure that. Boy, they're getting us right to the end of our shot clock. We're having a hard time finding good shots, especially
inbound.
underneath.
Myron off the inbound, lays it home.
Scratch that. Off the inbounds, we get a wide open layup.
Yep. Maybe we just have to knock the ball out of bounds all the time. 24-18, Stevens Point. Lusinger into the ball game, gets it to Shore, sends it over to Mboga into the corner, UTEP. Stout around the perimeter with Shore battling inside with Grant right now. UTEP kick out Mboga, thought about 3, drops it back off. Schwarzenberger, UTEP against Seth. 3 on the shot clock, and I didn't think he got it off. I didn't think he got it off.
No, they did not get that off. That's the second time that they've not got a shot off before. I think they're going to look at it.
Yeah, I think they are.
Yep.
They're going to look at it. He did a lot in under 3 seconds if he got that ball off.
Scotty, I was watching, not the backboard turning red, but I was watching the shot clock, which was right above him.
Yep.
And in my estimation, it was on 0 and the ball was on his hand.
Okay. The officials will figure that out, and then we'll go from there. We'll keep our pointer fingers crossed.
They should get a really good view of this on the video.
Yep. Cheese Pleasers, the freshest, best tasting cheese snack products produced in Bancroft. Cheese trays freshly made. All 3 of the officials over taking a look.
I'm looking at a still on it right now next to me on a video. It's on his hands. Now let's hope they have.
Call them down here and show them.
Show them this. They've got the same feet, Scotty. I don't know if they don't wipe this off, then we've got a story, because I'm looking at it on a freeze frame right next door, and it is definitely on his hand, and the shot clock's on 0. Yeah,
well, I mean, there's an awful long time for what you guys seem to think is a no-brainer, but
I'm sitting next to our SID, of course, and he's got it on freeze frame, and it's clearly on his hands. Now, if they're watching it live instead of just stopping it, we have it stopped.
I don't know what the deal is.
I don't know why it should be taking so long.
Unless they're not getting the same feed down there somehow. But
I'm going to run this. I'm going to run this screen down to him. Is that legal?
I don't know.
No.
What's worse, you could get kicked out of the game?
Yeah.
Or do both of us get kicked out?
Well, I don't know.
Well, I so far haven't been kicked out. Now I've been pointed at a time or two through these 48 plus years now as in, hey, you. But I'm like, well, first of all, how can you hear me?
Yeah.
Secondly, nobody in the building can hear me. So what would be the difference that I would be able to say that would upset an official?
One of our friends from the print media many years ago got really close to getting kicked out. And of course, he was a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
But I guess that doesn't matter when they choose to kick you out.
They're still talking about it, which is an amazing thing.
Unless they're talking about how much time should be left on a clock or what they're talking about.
No basket.
Well, they got that right.
So Point should have the ball here.
Boy, that took a while for
it did.
what seemed obvious to me, but who knows what they all have to look at and what they're trying to figure out with clock, etc.
Pointer basketball brought to you by Nate Olson of Next Home Priority, a slam dunk. Nate, the top producing agent in Portage County, #1 in families served. Buying or selling a home, make sure to get Nate Olson on your team. Carter into the front court. Leaves it off for Grant Muntz. Back to Josiah down the lane. Shore gobbles him up. Back out, right back over. Josiah on the wing. Now he's got Shore on him. Takes him down to the baseline. Looks inside, drops it in. Grant Muntz back his way down. Jump hook, partially blocked maybe by Shore.
I tell you what, Shore left his man and got back to help.
Yep.
We had a mismatch, and he defended two guys.
Vic off to UTEC. Pointers by 6. Shore against Grant. Hands back, UTEC drives it left side, guarded by Max. Doing a pretty good job so far. UTEC spins, shot missed, loose on the floor. Who's going to dig it out? Shore had it, off to Butler. Off on top, it'll go to Seth. And the Pointers will slow this thing down.
Boy, a lot of
a
contact on that UTEC shot, no ball.
Yeah, and then a lot of contact on the loose ball.
Yeah.
But then where do you call it?
Boy, a lot of hand checking.
Hand checking by Vic especially. Seth Myron out to Grant. Hand off. Carter Combs got by his man initially. Gets down the lane. Goes up. Got it with a foul.
You know, Carter says if you can bowl me over, I can take my left shoulder into you as well. That's as physical as we've seen Carter play, Scott.
Yeah, I agree with. Foul on Schwarzenberger, his first. 4th Stout foul. Carter will try to make it a 3-point play, which could up the lead back to 9 if he hits this one. And he does. Carter with 5, and the Pointers are up 9 at 27-18.
Ties our biggest lead of the night.
That's correct. So here you go. UTEC to bring it up. 5:07 to go in the half. UTEC right by Myron, right down the lane. Overlaid, tip dunk, no, rebound, Max.
And a foul.
And it had to be a foul if
on
it
UTEC.
wasn't on UTEC.
That'll be his second, I believe.
Correct.
Scotty. Well, he missed a driving shot, and then the big guy, Shore, missed the thunder dunk, and it came out to Max.
All right, Raymer to bring it into the front court. A basket would give you your biggest lead here. Grant Muntz on the left wing. Hands it off to Josiah. Working against Vic down to the baseline. Josiah getting in deep. Had it poked away. Loose on the floor.
Jump
and
ball.
Did we get a timeout called? You have plenty of them.
And that's going to go to Stout.
Yeah.
Well, once in a while, Josiah holds that ball and gets himself into some trouble. Stout playing really good D on the ball.
Well, then the problem is Josiah got down there. You've talked about it before. Turn around and there's the 6'11" Shore.
Yep.
You can't shoot over him.
Nope.
So that created the biggest problem.
You've really got to stop and hit
An illegal screen on Shore.
You've really got to stop and hit something from 8 to 10 feet before you get the ball into Shore. Because as we've seen in what, 3 halves of basketball now, he just sort of swats everything away if you get too deep.
4:32 to go. Pointers by 9, and with the basketball. That was the first on Shore. 6 on Stout. Shore will sit, and Stoffaker comes back in for the Devils.
Cal Crone could take that ball deep against them. Of course, he's gone for a long time with that torn ACL.
Josiah Butler to Logan. See if we can get Logan going. Handoff will go to Carter Combs. In underneath Butler. Could have gone up quickly. Did not. Off to Myron. Kick out Raymer. 3-ball. No. And the rebound pulled down by Stoffaker.
You know what? Josiah had a layup early. He needed to catch and shoot in one motion, and he didn't do it.
Yeah, you're right on that. Stoik on the left wing trying to go against Max, and Max with a reach-in foul.
Well, just the freshman, Max, still trying to find his way on the defensive end a little bit. Going to be a really good one.
Yeah, I agree with that. And we'll get, I think, another media timeout with 4 minutes to go in the opening half. Pointers lead 27-18. Stout will have the ball and 20 on the shot clock. And we're going to stay right here. The final score, Sports Bar and Grill scoreboard showing Stevens Point 27, Stout 18. The final score on the corner of 2nd and Maria, Stevens Point. They have all of your game day needs, or you can go right next door to the OT for a little something extra. Well, it's a battle, to say the least, at this moment. And
it's a battle on the defensive ends for both these teams, and you can see it in shooting percentages. Stout at 31%, the Pointers at 39%. The two teams shoot 42 and 47% from the field, respectively. And the defense is, tell you what, both teams understand, you can tell the intensity involved, but they also understand the importance of this game, and they are really getting it done on their defensive end. So going is tough.
No question about that.
For both teams.
Yep, you have to keep in mind when these two teams met over in Menominee, Point built themselves a 6-point halftime lead only to get rolled over in the second half. So whatever the score is at the end of the half, disregard, there will be 20 more minutes to go.
Yeah, well, let's hope not another 20 like we saw on January 14th.
Good point there. Drew Doust back in for Stevens Point. Stout will inbound off the baseline. A long toss goes to the backcourt where Mboga will go to get it. 27-18, Mboga against Logan. Over to the right side, it'll go there. Stoffaker out on top. Schwarzenberger off the switch. Schwarzenberger gives to the corner. They'll hold there. Doust holds his own. Stoik. Little pick and roll blocked away by
another
Logan.
30-second violation.
Yeah, that's 3 30-second violations. That's pretty good defense.
That's really good defense. And on that one, there's no question that pass got blocked out towards half court. The minute that pass got blocked, their 30 seconds was going to run out.
So the Pointers have a third crack at trying to get into double-digit lead here. Carter Combs bounces it off to Seth Myron, holds it near the top of the circle. Left wing, it'll go to Josiah, gobbled up at time by Mboga. Send it over to Myron, handoff Doust. Drew inside, picks up, gives it off to Butler, 10 on the shot clock. Josiah down to the baseline, double clutches out. Myron triple, got it!
Boy, and I tell you what, he had a defender, Stoffaker, flying right at him and shot right in his face.
30-18, and Josiah's going to get his second.
Yeah, that'll end Josiah's first half.
Yep.
3:03 to go.
Ran right into and through a screen.
Yeah, and those are things you got to communicate with one another. And this will be a bonus now.
Yep. So Schwarzenberger to the line, front end of a 1-and-1 here. Pointers are up a dozen, 3:03 to go in the half. First free throw is good. So he's got 3 points.
Pointers' leading scorer will sit the rest of this half. Leading scorer on the season, not the game.
Yep. Lime green shoes for Schwarzenberger. He made them both. 10-point ball game. Full court pressure. Carter Combs will bring it up against Stoik.
Scotty, if we had that color shoe when we played, we would have worn them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Logan, wide open triple, not going to go again. Rebound inside, Stoffaker. Here comes Vic, a chance to cut it inside double digits into the corner. Mboga and a screening foul on Vic.
Yep. A lot of those exchange situations, they've been moving.
Pointer women at the half, tied with Stout. Front court, Carter Combs over to the right wing. Drew Douse, top of the circle. They cover that up. Logan down the lane, kicks to the wing. Around it'll go to Carter Combs. Carter back off to Seth. Holds it there, leaves it. Doused, open three, not going to go again. Rebound on the baseline.
Just can't get rolling. We know such a big scorer in high school, and he just hasn't got on track in college yet.
Vic, pointers by 10. Schwarzenberger looking inside to Stoffaker, pinned down over to Vic. Trying to take Seth down low, backs his way into the lane. Spin move, spins back, underlaid, foul.
You know what, and it's too bad they fouled there, Scotty, because they had taken the right hand away. He was going to have to drop step to the left, and he was right under the basket. I don't know how he was going to get the left hand up over the rim, but sort of bailed him out by the foul.
Max picks up his second personal, and Colin Vick to the line for 2 here. And he makes good on the first.
Well, they're sneaking back in. You're led by 12 at 30-18, and now they're on a little bit of a run.
7 of 7 from the line right now is Stout. And thankfully, 7 of 8.
Good call, Scotty.
Thank you. I was hoping you were going to be done talking so I could sneak that in there. Carter Combs at the top of the circle. Seth goes left, picked up the dribble, nothing available. Off it'll come to Carter down to the baseline. Stops there. Long pass out to Logan. Shot clock at 12. Carter on the left wing. Over to Myron. Open from the right wing. That's not going to go. Rebound down low. Schwarzenberger. Stoik into the front court. A chance to get a little bit closer. Free throw line extended. Stoik leaves it off. Schwarzenberger. Stoffaker. Free throw line extended. 9-point pointer lead. Schwarzenberger against Myron down the lane, out on the perimeter. Vic trying to get in deep, kicks to the wing. Stoik pulls up for a 2. That is not going to go. Rebound. Combs had it, lost it. Back to Stoik for 3. That's not going to go. Carter had it, lost it. And then a foul underneath.
They're going to get that on Myron. Man, we had Carter on the inside position on both of those rebounds, and he just couldn't quite get tall enough to secure it to the taller Blue Devils.
They called it on Carter Combs.
And Carter, guess after he gave up the ball, they said he went back in and fouled him somehow.
Yeah, kind of weird. Free throw not going to go. Rebound in the lane for Stevens Point off the Stoffaker miss.
Well, we got a number of guys with 2 fouls suddenly, Scotty.
Yep. 54.3 seconds to go. Point will have 24 on the shot clock. We're going to stay right here. That is 2 on Carter, 2 on Butler, 2 on Raymer, if you're keeping score.
Scotty, the pointer's just 4 of 15 from behind the 3-point line. Of course, we just caught fire in that second half against Platteville, where we ended up shooting 15 of 34, which was our best 3-point shooting of the year. And now we're dead cold, really, for, as I said, 15 for this first half. Maybe we'll catch fire in the second half.
Hopefully.
Well, we better. Yeah. If you're gonna live with the 3, you don't want to die with it.
30-21. Point will have 24 on the shot clock, so Stout will still have a full 30 seconds.
That they will.
With the basketball. Platteville right now up on Oshkosh by 6.
You could get a quick shot here, Scotty. You could do a 2-for-1 in these last 54 seconds.
Yeah. Dylan Taylor into the ball game to operate at the point. Leaves it up on the left side. Baumgartner, Myron underneath. Fumbled out of bounds by Doust. It would have been a good chance for Drew to score inside.
Boy, Drew's struggling on the little.
It's bugging him right now.
Yep.
You can see that.
Yep, he's fighting himself, I think, Scotty.
Yep. Just needs that one game to get it going.
He had a layup if he catches that ball.
Vic Schwarzenberger, left wing against Taylor. Handoff there, back on top Vic. Drives it, kick out,
short.
3 balls way short. Saved by Baumgartner, and then Stout got it back, missed the shot. And you're down to 1 possession here to bring it up. You got lucky.
Yeah, there's like 2 seconds between these two, so run this down to your whole 20 seconds to go here.
Myron with the ball on top goes to Taylor.
Maybe Drew could hit one at the shot clock end here. That would be nice, huh?
Dylan Taylor with the ball. Here's 8 seconds. Now you got to start some offense.
Got to go.
Taylor very quick, drives it, kicks it, doused from the corner. Pulls up for the jumper, left that short. It is going to go out of bounds. I guess a shot clock violation.
Yeah,
huh?
it was. You know what? We started that just too late, Scotty. We started that at 6.
Yep.
Would have preferred to start that a couple seconds sooner.
They're going to make this the end of the half.
They are.
Okay. So we are at halftime. Stevens Point.
Are they? Yes, I guess so.
Yeah, the official wiped it up.
Yep.
At the half, Stevens Point 30 and Stout 21. We'll be back here in a little bit. UW Stevens Point men's basketball on WPCN.
Cheese, please.
Halftime, UW Stevens Point with a 9-point advantage right now. So we'll see how that holds up here in the second half. We know what Stout did over there.
Yep.
We'll wait and see if that makes any difference.
And a really similar first half. I
Yeah.
tell you, I'd sit in here with the feeling that whichever team can get the lid off the basket is going to win this game.
That would be a pretty good assessment.
Because both teams struggling mightily shooting the basketball. Now, been a lot of hard defense played, but I think both coaches would tell you that we got to shoot better than that.
Yeah, Point has had some open looks, didn't knock them down. But I agree with you that it is a pretty intense defensive game so far. And we kind of expected that. I think Stout has become defensive oriented.
Yep.
You know, wasn't that long ago, Stout was just offense, offense, offense. And I think maybe Coach Webb is saying, you know what, this league is built around defense. If we want to have that kind of success, we need to play deep.
Scotty, our championship teams, our best teams, frequently had defensive scoring averages in the low 60s. And I think if you would look back at conference champions, you would see something similar to most WIAC champions, as they hold opponents under 65 points per game, closer to 60. So yeah, this is a defensive league. Even though we have great offensive players, the teams that win can play defense. But that's no surprise. That's pretty much true of every sport I know.
Yeah. It is, by the way, Women in Sports Day. It took me a few seconds. I'm going, okay, I know these are a lot of pointer athletes. Why all the women? Oh, yeah. It's Women in Sports Day. And thank goodness that came around. When you and I were in high school, John, there was something called GAA. And girls didn't have varsity athletics. They basically got a chance, I think at Fond du Lac, it was Mondays. They could go in and play whatever in the gym, get out the mats and do tumbling, play basketball, whatever. And it has changed much for the better.
You know, GAA, of course, was Girls Athletic Association.
Right.
And I grew up in West Salem, as you know, just outside of La Crosse. West Salem still has a great girls gymnastic team, and for some reason, when I was in high school, and we're going before, when it was still GAA, we had a great girls gymnastics program even then. But other than that, basketball wasn't around yet. No soccer, nothing. It was all kind of glorified intramural. So here we are 50 years later, and they're full participants, as well they should be.
Absolutely. They're exciting to watch. Many of them are tremendous athletes.
Well, and as you know, all these years later, I'm still coaching girls in high school track and field. And
you're still trying to figure that out.
They said I got to keep coaching until I figure out how to do it right. But there's no place I'd rather be than working with our girls at SPASH in track and field.
Yep. 30-21. We're at the break. Let's take a 90-second break. We'll come back. UW-Stevens Point men's basketball, WPCN.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on the Packers. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like
time at the Quant, UW-Stevens Point men's basketball leading Stout 30-21, and well played, physical, very physical opening half, and it's going to be the same in the second half. Very physical.
A very WIAC kind of basketball game, Scotty. I mean, this conference is a very physical conference. If you're not strong and tough, this is no place for you. And this has just been a prototypical, slug 'em kind of WIAC game.
No question about that. You have all the stats,
I
Mr.
do.
Zellmer.
For the visitors, the Blue Devils from UW-Stout, also known as Menominee, they finished 6 of 23, 26% from the floor, 2 of 7 from behind the three-point line, 28%, and they made 7 of their 9 free throws. They out-rebounded us by 9 in the first half, including 9 offensive boards. Scotty, they didn't turn those 9 offensive boards into points, and that's a big story of this first half. They had 3 assists to go with 12 turnovers, which is one of the reasons they did not turn those rebounds into points. Those 12 turnovers have really hurt the Blue Devils. For the Pointers, just 10 of 28, 35%, 4 of 15 from behind the three-point line, 26%. And the Pointers have made 6 of 7 of their free throws. 14 boards for the Pointers, 4 on the offensive end, 8 assists to go with 5 turnovers, 4 steals, and 2 block shots. Round out the Pointer line. Points off those turnovers have been the story of the game, I think. 13-0 Stevens Point have converted those 12 Blue Devil turnovers into 13 points. Points down in the paint, 10-8 Stevens Point. We haven't been able to let the bigger, stronger teams score inside yet. We'll see if we can keep that trend in the second half. Second chance points, 4 apiece. Fast break points, Stevens Point 4. The Blue Devils none. And points off the bench, 9-6 advantage, UW-Stout.
All right, scoring for the Blue Devils. Colin Vick and A.J. Utek each have 5. 4 apiece for Aiden Shore and Dominic Schwarzenberger. 3 for Wesley Mboga. And for the Pointers, it's once again the Seth Myron show. Where would we be without him right now? 13 in the half for Seth. 5 points for Carter Combs. 4 for Josh Booker. 3 for Josiah Butler. 2 for Grant Muntz. 2 for Max Raymer. And 1 for Logan Baumgartner. And both teams shot it well from the free throw line. So you have to try to keep each one of them off the line, I think, here in the second half. Battle hard. Try to increase your numbers on the glass, and then take your chances, John.
Yep, Sky, players with 2 fouls, only Utek for the Blue Devils. We have 3 guys with 2 fouls, Butler, Combs, and Max Raymer. So we'll have to follow that situation as fouls could become critical here in this game, especially teams having trouble scoring. What you want to do is see if you can't get yourself to the foul line. And I look for the Blue Devils to come out with that same aggressive, let's get into the paint and score by the rim attitude that we saw over at Stout not too many weeks ago. And we know that if they can open that up, then we start to pack the lane, and then suddenly they kick out and hit open threes. They haven't been able to do that kind of action yet. We'll see how these second 20 minutes go.
Yep, 30-21. And let's run down the scores of the other games that we do have. Let's start on the women's side. Halftime in Menominee, Pointers 31, Blue Devils 31. All halftime scores, by the way. Eau Claire leading at River Falls, 29-27. Whitewater leading at La Crosse, 27-25. Platteville and Oshkosh, this is really interesting. Halftime, 18-18.
Wow.
And you can't just go 4 corners. So are both teams shooting the ball that poorly?
Well, and Oshkosh has that new, let's go up and down the floor and play, platoon.
No, that's women's.
Oh, this was women. I'm sorry. I didn't hear the women's side. Well, yeah, who knows?
Men's scores, besides ours, it is Eau Claire at home leading River 42-34. Whitewater at home trailing La Crosse 37-34. Platteville at home leading Oshkosh 40-36.
Yeah, see, that's more like it. The Oshkosh score. The Oshkosh games have been high scoring.
Yes, no doubt about it. Well, let's see what happens in the second half.
Yeah, got to make some shots, Scotty, and hold that front line in check for the Blue Devils, which really kind of got going. And the guy that got them going was A.J. Utek. Now, he got his second foul, and so his minutes were limited in that first half. He actually got the Blue Devils going when he came off the bench and scored their first points. So, see what happens.
Yep, 30-21. Let's take a 30-second break. We'll come back, play the second half. UW-Stevens Point 30, Stout 21. This is Pointer Men's Basketball on WPCN. as he came in today. Point, Whitewater, Platteville, Oshkosh, all 5-3. Stout at 4-4 along with La Crosse, and then River and Eau Claire sitting behind at 2-6. So hey, it's up for grabs.
That's what we call a mess.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
And we've had games like this before. As many as 5 losses have won the championship in the past. I don't believe 6 ever did.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Pointers will have the ball to start off the half, and I'll tell you, getting a basket or a score on that first possession would be very nice.
Yep.
Not gonna.
The first 5 minutes of this half, so important, every half, and I know I say that, but coming out of the locker room, the first 5 minutes really set the tone for the remainder of the game.
Yep. Carter Combs will inbound. He does so to Grant Muntz. Right back to Carter, and we're underway in the second half. Logan on the high left side. Right back to Carter. Josiah Butler clears out on the right side. They'll get it to Myron, around to Josiah. Taking it against Vic, sends it out to Logan. Off to Myron on the right side. Shot clock down to 12. Grant on the baseline, trying to spin inside against Stoffaker. Goes up left hand, and he'll score it.
Nice patience by Grant.
32-21, Stevens Point.
Plus 11.
Vic into the front court. Off to Mboga, right back to Vic. Looks and sends it out to Stoik. Vic in the corner. They're pinned down on the right side. Stoffaker outside the arc against Myron now. Mboga trying to get by Myron as he picked him up. In deep, fadeaway jumper short, rebound Grant. Nice
tough
defense.
shot. Yeah, Seth made him fade away, and really tough when you can't lean in.
Carter Combs on the left side. Into the post, it'll go to Myron. Mboga on him. Seth spinning down low. Double team comes. Tried to get it over to Grant and bounced it off a foot and out of bounds.
Yep, good idea. Just got too congested down there. We had 2 pointers on offense and 3 Blue Devils playing defense. And a whole bunch of feet.
Does leave a big man in the post seemingly at all times, don't they?
They do.
Or they get back there awful quick. Carter to inbound, 14 on the shot clock. Inbound underneath, Logan scores.
Boy, that's the second time we've scored on that inbounds curl where we just come around to pick by Grant and wide open.
34-21. Quickly left baseline, running inside, and then throwing that one away. That was Schwarzenberger. And Stout's going to get an early timeout here.
They don't want to see this get away in those first 5 minutes. Scotty, your biggest lead at 13.
Yep. 18-36. We're going to stay right here. Well, the start that we wanted, John.
Yep.
That's for sure. Now, another possession to try to go down and add to it.
Well, we know successful basketball requires you to play 40 complete minutes. So 1 32nd possession at a time. And just give it your all while you're on the floor. You know, as a game as physical as this and demanding as this has been, you wonder in the last 6-7 minutes what kind of legs people will have.
I know mine are already tired and I'm sitting here.
But, you know, you think this time of the season, these guys should be in pretty darn good shape.
Yeah, well, for sure. After this one, you've got 2 tough road games coming up. At Eau Claire and then on the road all the way to River on a Wednesday night. So this one, of course, at home, vitally important to get.
Yep, you gotta hold your home court.
Yep. That you do.
Because it almost seems like when you lose one at home, you got to find 2 on the road, and we know how hard it is to win on the road.
All right, Point will have the basketball, and by the looks of it, we'll face a little full court pressure here.
Yeah,
so get ready for this.
Yeah, good change by the Blue Devils. They're going to try to get their legs moving and get themselves into the game a little bit, full court.
Carter still looking to inbound, and he finally does to Myron. Myron into the front court. Mboga bothering him there. Myron bounces it back out to Butler.
Not sure Seth knew they had a defender running him down from behind. That was close.
Carter Combs, top of the circle, right side Logan. Looked and sends it back out on top over to Butler on the wing. Heavily guarded. Into the corner, into the lane, goes up right hand, spins it off the rim. No, Grant had the rebound, lost it out of bounds off a Stout.
Grant really fighting for every rebound. doesn't get them, but he causes the Blue Devils sometime not to get it either. So back to 20 on the shot clock.
Yeah. Josiah thought maybe he was fouled.
Just
Didn't
overlaid
get
that one. A little too hard off the glass.
Off the inbound, tipped away. What is the call going to be? Pointer basketball.
Here, yep.
I'll tell you, the outside official wanted to send it the other direction.
Yeah, he was watching the reaction of the Stout player who was begging for the ball, but almost got away with that.
Grant got a little push. He has it on the left wing off to Butler. They'll free him into the lane, poked away again by Vic. Showed too much ball. Schwarzenberger to the other end.
Good play by Vic, Scotty.
Got by Carter, runs it into the lane, and we'll get a foul.
On who?
Didn't see.
That's why they're going to call that on Grant, I think. That'll be his first.
No slip, Grant.
All right.
I tell you,
34-21.
Josiah loves driving to the basket, but they've really taken that away from him tonight.
Yeah, they have. Vic on the baseline drive here for Stout. Kick out Mboga, sends it across the way. Stoik got by Seth, down low, blocked by Seth. Picked up by Logan into the hands of Carter.
What a play.
Carter front court, heads left. Down to the corner it will go. Gets it and sends it to Josiah. Back over to Carter on the wing. Into the post, Seth Myron freed up, lays it up and in.
Well, good work by Seth down in the left block. Just got the guy in his hip, but Carter made a beautiful pass to the basket.
Yep, he led him right to the basket. If it goes on his other hand, probably doesn't end up in a basket. Stoik backdoor cut, it goes, and Stuffaker will slam one home. 36-23.
Grant just got back cut from the wing.
Happens once in a while.
It does when you're trying to deny and play with ball pressure.
Carter Combs with it. Pointers by 13. Butler on the baseline against Vic. Outside, it'll go to Myron. Seth runs down left side. Mboga covers that up. Spin move by Seth. Baseline jumper.
Wow.
Knocked it down.
Tough shot. See, that was the timing of the shot there, Scotty. The double was coming, but he didn't let it get to him. He took the shot more quickly.
38-23. Vic on top. Schwarzenberger to Stoffaker. 16:26 to go. They'll find with the basketball. Schwarzenberger got in deep, got away with the travel. Ball tipped away, picked up by Stout. Vic into the corner, wide open three. That's not going to go, and a rebounding foul on Josiah Butler.
Yep, Josiah's having a rough game so far.
His third, that means he'll have to come out for a bit.
Max Raymer will go in. What does Josiah have here for points, Scotty?
He has three. 1 3-pointer.
Our leading scorer, 18 a game. They've defended him really well. Boy, they got to travel early in that, and
they missed it.
And there's a case where Josiah doesn't get that third foul if the travel gets called.
Inbound, it'll come to UTEC. Myron trying to defend there. Shore back into the game as well, by the way, so some switches here. UTEC Mboga, deep three, buried. And Logan was flying at him.
So what a bad possession. We get a third foul on Butler, and they hit a three.
38-26. Carter against Vic sends it over to Max Raymer. The freshman out of Sun Prairie East High School has done a great job for Stevens Point. Logan Bumgartner off to Myron. Seth crossover into the lane, spin move, left his feet, but managed to get rid of it to Carter. Bad cross court, stolen away by UTEC. He'll take it down, stripped away and out of bounds. No foul called. Myron, I think, got the piece of it and knocked it away.
Well, we're going to get a media timeout. Good chance to regroup. The last couple possessions have not gone our way.
15 and a half minutes to go. Media timeout. Let's take a 30-second break. We will come right back. Pointer men's basketball on WPCN.
We examine...
.30 to go in this basketball game. The Pointers still up by 12. At 38-26, Pointer women down 1 now over in Menominee. So work to do for the women.
Well, Pointers with a better start shooting-wise, 4-5. Now they've got UTEC and Shore on the floor together. At least in the time we've seen the Blue Devils, that's been a combination that's been difficult for us.
Yeah. All right. 26 will be on the shot clock for Stout. They inbound under the basket. UTEC in the corner trying to get by Booker and
Stepped out of bounds.
yeah, he stepped out of bounds. All right, we'll take that turnover. Carter Combs will inbound again, full court pressure. It comes into Raymer, right back over to Carter. And into the front court quickly. They play good defense.
They do.
Logan Baumgartner over, it'll come. Grant Muntz hands it to Raymer. Raymer off to Logan. Logan at the free throw line. Holds, sends it over to Carter. Carter off the screen. Finds Grant. Takes it into the lane. Spin move. Goes up. Blocked by Shore. Rebound. Grant couldn't get it to go. Mboga with it.
Well, and that's what Shore has done to us in the time he's been on the floor.
Quickly up Vic. Heads right, and he traveled with the basketball.
He was trying to make something happen, and we surrounded him with defenders, and he just fell backwards and traveled. You know, they turned it over a couple times. We got to make him pay with a basket.
Agreed. Rock and Roll Cafe, where the sports stars meet. Wow. Rock and Roll Cafe, always welcoming friends, family, and athletes. Rock and Roll Cafe, Stevens Point. Pointers in the front court. Carter to the wing. Picked up by UTEC. Into the post. It'll go to Grant. Cutting down the lane. Booker! He'll lay it up and in. Nice pass by Grant.
Yep, Josh strong and athletic.
40-26 Pointers by 14. Vic on the left wing out to UTEC.
Well, we got a mismatch now with Shore.
Shore on Max. Takes it in. Lost it going up. Booker picks up the rebound. Brings it up. Sends it over to Raymer on the left wing. Goes to Booker back down on the left baseline. Josh against Mboga. Booker will give it back out to Carter Combs. Screens. Carter, corner. Booker on the baseline. 12 on the shot clock. Booker against Schwarzenberger. Kick out will go there. Logan Baumgartner. Free throw line poked away again. And then on ahead and a reaching foul on Logan Baumgartner.
Boy, oh boy.
Vic, very, very good at poking the ball away on
he's
top.
He's smaller, but you know, he's guarding guys that are 6'4", 6'5", but then they got that high dribble. And he's able to stay low to the floor and get around that body and flick it away with his quickness.
Yeah, which is why you don't want to be dribbling out on top.
Especially you don't want you to turn your back on him.
Yep. All right. Nice play by Vic.
Again, though, we got too deep in the shot clock, and then we're stuck with trying to make something happen.
UTEC left. Shore trying to play in the post against Booker. Outside to Mboga. Pointers by 14. Vic on the dribble against Max. Down the right of the lane. Backing his way down. Spin move. Blocked by Max. Loose in the corner. Jump ball. And it'll be Blue Devil basketball with 9 seconds on the shot clock.
Logan is asking for a sub. He's dead tired. Well, 9 seconds, as you said. See what they get off the inbound. Under their basket.
Under the basket. Inbound it will come into the corner. Running baseline UTEC. And he traveled with the ball again. He got in deep. That last time in Menominee, he was able to power through. The Pointers are covering that up much better.
Yeah, we're putting more people around him, Scotty.
Drew Doust is going to come in. They were going to bring in Dylan Taylor and decided to go back to Drew now.
That was on the defensive end, and now that the turnover came, they decided to go with an offensive player.
Yep. Raymer into the front court. Pointers by 14. Max against Schwarzenberger. Out to Carter. Sends it over to Drew Doust. Wanted to go into the post. Out to Booker at the top of the circle. Back over to Seth. Booker sets the screen. Seth gets deep against UTEC. Keeps the dribble. Trying to work inside. Poked away. Got it back. Bounces it off Booker. Double clutches. Goes up. Foul. No, but a foul.
And I think that one will be on Shore. Yep. One thing about Josh Booker is he elevates about 6 inches higher than anybody else we have. When he's around the rim, he's usually shooting straight at it or down.
Yeah.
He can get off the floor. Now, can he make some free throws?
He's a problem for sure.
Yeah, quick.
Josh's free throw is good.
Because of his quickness, right?
His quickness, absolutely. And Shore can't cover it up as quick as he might against, say, Seth or Grant is quick.
Well,
but not quite as strong, possibly, as Josh.
Right, and Josh gets off the mark more quickly.
Yes, quick jumper.
Yeah, everything he does is more quickly.
Missed the second. Shore with the rebound and foul on Mboga.
Well, you know, Seth went up to try to challenge for that and didn't go up very high, and right away the official had the call on the hold.
So 41-26, and the Pointers get the ball back. The long inbound to Drew Doust.
And it's going to be a Josh Booker foul.
Yeah.
Oh, once you know Carter hits the three. Well, I'll say this. They've been consistent on that illegal screen.
Yeah, if it's there, call it, right?
Yeah.
That's all you can ask them to do. Vista Royale Campground on Isherwood Road in Bancroft. Making memories one campsite at a time, 41-26. Front court with it is Colin Vick. Max Raymer playing a really good game so far. Switch off Booker now on Vick. Out on the perimeter, and they just simply throw it away.
Boy, they're just a little discombobulated. We're talking about the Blue Devil guards. But you know what? You're up 15 and you're happy about that, but they're turning it over and we're not converting the points. Don't you feel, Scotty, as poorly as they have played, it could be 20?
Yeah, I would agree. Now, a basket here will make it feel a whole lot better.
Well, that's the fact.
Max Raymer into the front court. And you're going without Butler again. Keep that in mind. Up on top to Doust. Off the screen, gives it back over. Seth on the right wing, UTEC guarding. Seth down on the block underneath the Booker. Had a little trouble with it. Spinning, goes up, overlaid. Again, Shore right there, so a tough shot. Here comes Vick. Down to the other end, into the lane. Kick out UTEC. It's down the lane, tied up by Seth Myron. And this, if it's not a foul, is going to be Stevens Point basketball.
Well, and another turnover, essentially. But we're not scoring either. Here comes Butler.
Here comes Josiah.
Yeah, we got to get more offense on the floor.
Josiah will come in for whom? Carter
It's looking
Combs
like
for a little
Carter,
bit.
of course.
All right, Pointer ball.
Carter have for minutes here? He's 24 minutes.
You're done.
Raymer will be the inbounder.
Clear.
Gets it on the floor. And Butler will bring it up. 41-26 Pointers. Booker trying to set a screen. It'll come to Myron. Cutting down the lane. Butler got inside off a screen. He'll lay it home. He's got 5.
Yeah, good look by Seth Myron. And coach was asking for an and one. I didn't see anything.
Nor I. 43-26. Pointers are up. Vick down to the baseline. Cut off by Booker. Sends it out on top with it here.
Quick.
Behind the back. Almost traveled. Up to UTEC. Back on the wing it will go there. In the ball game right now, Gavin Johnson. UTEC down the lane. He underlaid, but a foul is going to be whistled now. Is it on Doust or Butler?
It'll be on Drew Doust. He was a help defender there.
Yep.
I think we'll get another media timeout here. That'll be a 2-shot foul, by the way, which the Blue Devils desperately need. They've been having trouble scoring. They'll get to the foul line here.
11:24 to go. This is a media timeout. Let's take that 1-minute break. We'll come right back. Pointer men's basketball on WPCN.
Since 19...
11:24 to go in this one. Your final score, Sports Bar and Grill scoreboard showing the Pointers up 17 at the moment. But that will change. I believe AJ Utech at the line.
Yeah, he's 2 for 2 on the night. 67% on the year, Scotty.
And he got the first one.
Blue
Gives him
Devils just
6 points.
2 of 7 to start this half, and they've been turning it over. They haven't been getting shots.
Second one coming up for UTEP. Well, Pointer defense has something to do with that. Missed the second. Booker with the board.
Well,
43-27.
see if we get a good look here.
Max Raymer sends it right. Stoik back in. Handoff to Josiah. Booker left side trying to go baseline. Foul,
Force
or
out.
did he
That'll
end
be a
up out of
foul.
bounds?
No, that'll be a force out foul by Stoffaker.
That's his second. Third on the Blue Devils. 11:08 to go in the ball
They
game.
haven't committed many fouls.
No, they have not. As physical as it seems to be. Myron on the baseline against Demboga. Seth over to Booker. Booker against Stoffaker overlays, but a foul on Stoffaker.
I don't like they've seen an on-one there. Boy, bad possession for Stoffaker. He gets 2 fouls on about 15 seconds apart.
Now Josh goes to the line for 2.
Got to make these.
Yep. Want to be on the floor at the end of games, you have to be able to make free throws.
That's fact.
First one is good. Second one coming up. 44-27. Could get it to an 18-point lead if you can hit this one. Book second. Rattles out. No. Rebound UTEP.
Pretty much on his average, Scotty.
Yeah.
52%. So he's kind of a 1 for 2 guy all year.
Yeah. Too bad. UTEP bounces left side Vic. Off the screen, Vic. Covered up by Booker here. Into the corner it'll go. UTEP catch shoot 3 off the mark.
Oh, there was a
Gets
big
his own
push.
rebound. Still loose inside. And then what? Another jump ball?
Boy, Josiah Butler got thrown right off the floor, Scotty. And I think the guy that had something to do with that might have been Maboga.
No slips,
You know,
Josh.
Josiah seemingly, and we're Pointer fans, he doesn't get many calls
No,
and seems to get a few ticky-tacks
he was
at
almost.
times.
He almost had a seat in the front row of the bleachers. He just went flying out of bounds.
44-27, the inbound comes Stoffaker into the hands of Vic. They got a 20 on the shot clock. Mboga into the lane, almost carried it. Stops his dribble in the paint, sends it out. Vic, a wide open 3, in and out, no. Rebound baseline, loose ball, picked up by Myron. Over it'll go to Butler.
Well, the Blue Devils continue to miss shots.
That's usually a bad thing in basketball.
Yeah, you got to put the rock in the hole at some point.
Booker down the left of the lane, spins, nothing available, and clears out. Gets it right back from Raymer. Handoff Doust. He wants a triple. Left it short. Tipped out by Myron into the hands of Butler. Good job by Seth. Butler on the right wing. Takes it off to the Booker screen. Down the left of the lane. Goes up. Overlaid, but a foul.
Now Josiah will get to the line himself. Boy, don't you think if Drew Doust could just hit a couple and see
That's
it?
what I keep
and
thinking,
just
but-
see it swish. But what is he again tonight? 0 of 3.
No, he's got one, doesn't he?
Nope.
Nope, you're right.
0 for 4 now.
Yeah, you're right.
Again, a prolific scorer at Southern Door High School.
Yeah, that was high school.
Yeah, no, I understand. And this is a different level. And sometimes I think he's trying to make the shot before he shoots it.
Yeah.
If he could just relax.
I think
He's
he's
better off.
getting on the floor
Yeah.
because in practice
Yes.
things are going. On the game floor,
Yeah.
it's just not
There
quite
yet.
connecting
They,
yet.
They tell me he makes everything in practice, which he did in high school. He scored 3,090 points.
Made them both 46-27, 19-point lead. Baseline drive, kick out. Stoik steps over 3, buried
That
it.
one. Somehow he was wide open, and good job of waiting for the defender, the first closeout, to fly by.
9.5 minutes to go, so
A lot
plenty of time
left.
here.
Oh, you bet. They can easily get back in this if they get hot from the three-point line.
Well, you got to keep scoring. Logan Baumgartner off to Carter. Back over left side. Butler looked at Booker.
Move it.
Bounces to Book. Booker along cross court. Carter fakes the three, drives it inside, lost the handle, picked up here. On the other end, Stoffaker down the lane. He'll lay it up and in.
Boy, turnover leads to an open floor. That's 5 straight.
game.
It can change in a hurry.
Yeah, it surely can. Pointers have 3 timeouts available. Stout with 2, by the way. Max into the front court.
And we're going to take one.
We're going to take that time.
Coach didn't like these last couple possessions. Gave up
Yeah, kill that momentum or whatever you want to call it, right?
He gave up an open 3 and then turned it over in the lane. I think the disappointing thing was he took that ball in the lane and went all the way coast to coast, and we didn't really have anybody able to run him down. We talked about the legs inside of 9-8 minutes, and you saw it right there. They couldn't run him down.
Springville Sports Barn. Fuel up, cheer your team on before and after the game. Look for the Big Red Barn. Springville Sports Barn. Tomorrow night, a high-quality girls basketball game. First place in the Central Wisconsin Conference South on tap as the Pacelli Cardinals play in Elmond against the Almond Bancroft Eagles. 2 top 10 ranked Division 5 teams going at it. We'll have it on the air tomorrow at 6:45.
Is it fair to say that one of those 2 teams might be favored to get on the state floor?
Possibly. Their sectional is loaded.
Oh, is that right?
I believe there are 7 teams in the top 20 in that sectional. Logan on the left side. Pointers need a hoop.
And
they try to get
turnover.
it to Grant, and that one's knocked out of bounds. They're going to give it back to Stout.
I'm going to say Grant hit it last.
Logan with a bad pass.
Boy, nobody over on that side thinks that's the right call, but boy, that's 2 turnovers in a row.
Pass, though. You can't.
No,
you can't have that happen.
You're trying to close a game out, and you're turning it over.
Vic gets baseline, and he turns it over. Bounced it off his foot. Logan there to pick it up.
Boy, neither team grasping this game.
No, but it is a battle.
Yeah, it is.
Myron at the arc. Faked it to Josiah. Over to Grant on the left side. He stopped his dribble. Now you have to find somebody. Logan, an open 3. That's off the mark. Rebound, Vic.
Boy,
46-32. Logan is having an offer right now.
Last 3 possessions have been less than wonderful.
Schwarzenberger against Carter. Spins down the right of the lane to the baseline. Stopped up, kicks it on the wing. Vic running to the corner. Almost lost it again. Recovered. It'll go there to Shore. Shore against Grant. Picks up his dribble at the free throw line. Gives it back to Stoik. Pick and roll. Poked away by Carter Combs, and it went out of bounds. Good job by Carter. Or I think Shore's going to get an easy 2.
Yeah, he was going to get an easy 2. He was going to get a dunk, as a matter of fact. Too bad they couldn't tip that ball out instead of taking it with them. That would have exhausted the shot clock. As it is, they have 3 seconds to go.
7:42 to go, immediate timeout. And let's take a 30. We will come back. Pointer men's basketball, WPCN. Well, a lot of time remains, 7:42, but the Pointers do have a 14-point advantage at the moment.
Well, going to inbound on the baseline with 3 on the shot clock. Look to see if they don't lob to the rim and let the big guy go get one. Or watch a screen catch and a shoot 3 at the shot clock. So see what they run
Bunch of
here.
options.
Yeah, they got 3 guys up on the free throw line. See what they run with them.
All right. Vic will be the inbounder. And he holds it, gets it into Mboga, and a foul on Logan.
Boy, Logan. It's not a shooting foul, but they were going to have to force something at the shot clock. That's just not a good foul.
No, in fact, it's a bad foul. just give him a half a
Boy,
step cushion because
boy.
he would have had to force a long three.
That's almost like a turnover, Scotty.
Left side into the lane. Schwarzenberger got away with a step. Kick to the corner.
There it
Stoik
is.
buries
You
a
give
three.
you give up a 3 and now an 8-0 run.
Oh,
That
boy.
foul was just disastrous.
Pointers' lead is down to 11. Well, I said you have to keep scoring.
And
You've gone silent here for a while.
And you needed to be aware of that 3 seconds on that shot clock.
Myron working on the wing. Hasn't been able to work inside very much today. Off it'll go to Logan. Tries to spin deep. Got in. Throws it to the wing. Carter at the free throw line. Out it'll go. Myron's triple. That's not going to go. Rebound underneath. It'll go to Stout.
Carter had an 8-footer and passed it out for the 3.
Vic, handoff.
Oh, he
Stoik.
walked.
Yeah, he did. Got away with it. They didn't call it. Schwarzenberger into the lane. Jump, stop, spin. Shot on the way. Off the mark. Grant Muntz with the
Well,
rebound.
we need a bucket here. They're on an 8-0 run. We led by 19 at 46-27. Now it's 46-35 with a lot of time left.
Carter Combs on the wing. Goes in on the block. Seth Myron. Shore, backside defense. Out it'll go to Butler. Sends it out. Carter over to the right side. Muntz off the handoff pass. Carter to the baseline. Finds Josiah. Fakes the 3. Pulls up. Myron 3 from the left. In and out. No. Rebound to Vic. 46-35. 6 minutes to go.
When we get under 8, sometimes we just bog down and dribble.
Schwarzenberger off to Vic. Over to Mboga. In deep. It'll go to Shore against Logan. And Logan with a foul.
No, I think it's going to be on Logan. Oh, did you say Logan?
Yeah.
Yeah, not Carter. Yeah, that's where it is. And now they're shooting. Boy, oh boy, this got a chance to get closer. Up 19. This could get it back to single digits.
Shore 2 of 2 from the line.
Boy, oh
I'm
boy.
assuming this is a 2-shot foul. It is. Shore's first is good. He's got 5 points. Booker in for Bumgartner. No. Booker in for Grant.
They're about to go on a 10-0 run here, Scotty. You know, you're feeling good. It's 9:50 to go. You're up 19, and then you just kind of go in the tank.
Well, you aren't moving off the ball real well. And the defense is tough. He missed the second. Rebound, batted around, and finally Logan pulls it down. It's a 10-point
Boy,
game.
we need a basket here to settle things down.
Well, run your offense. Get to the hoop. Carter. Myron back to Carter. In deep. Got fouled, and he lays it home. There you go.
Well, what you
Get a
say,
basket and get to the basket.
run your offense. And that's what they did. The help didn't get over there that time.
Carter will be at the line where he's pretty solid.
Well,
that
that's
foul on Schwarzenberger.
That's a big basket, Scotty. We really needed that one. Your point guard gets it on the inside. See if you can get the N1.
Carter now with 7 points. 8 would be nice if he could toss this one in, and he does. So 13-point lead, 5:40 to go in the ball game. UTech across the timeline leaves it for Vic. Worked into a double team. Boy, that switch off, I'm not sure why way out there.
Yep.
It'll go off to Shore. Shore at the free throw
boy.
line to Stoik. His 3 off the rim, deep to the corner. Shore runs it down. Butler got knocked down again. Shore baseline. And
Out of
he
bounds.
traveled with the ball.
You
I
know
thought
what?
he came down before he ever made the
He
pass.
was spinning on Max Raymer, and give Max credit, giving up a half a foot at least, but he stayed in front of him and made that really difficult.
So the Pointers have the ball, and they lead it by 13. Carter into the front court. Bounces it inside Myron. That was a tough pass. Seth will clear the lane out to Josiah.
In traffic.
Josiah to the free throw line. Would have had a 15-footer. Off it'll go to Raymer. Seth. Shot clock down to 9. Butler on the wing against Vic. Poked away. Josiah has to go get it. A deep 3. He's going to come up short and out of bounds.
Boy, oh boy.
Boy, we get a lot of balls knocked away when we're dribbling.
And as we're trying to close out games and just instead of staying aggressive, we We tend to get too deep in the clock and then have to force
Too
something.
cerebral, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe so.
Out high, it'll go to Mboga.
They need us on the floor, though.
Yeah, me, you might be more cerebral than,
Come on, Joe!
well, certainly than me, but Mboga down Shore in the right corner on the baseline, guarded now by Josiah. Kick out Vic for three, got it.
You know, Max was kind of in the gap guarding no one, and he wasn't able to get out to the shooter.
10-point game again.
Boy, oh boy, you gotta know where shooters are.
Josiah over to Carter Combs. Long cross court Booker. Booker down to the baseline, tried to take Shore inside. Blocked away and out of bounds, or a foul?
A foul. There's that quickness. But it's giving Shore some trouble.
Shore will be
Clinging.
back at the, Booker will be back at the free throw
We're
line.
clinging to that 10-point lead. Booker back to where he tends to be 50%. Let's see if he gets the first one.
We'll get at least one. He did. Can he make two in a row, John?
Well, we're going to find out, but sure.
50-39. And rolls off the rim. Mboga with a rebound.
Well,
Pointers by 11.
another one for Tour.
3:58 to go. 3 times to the line, makes the first, misses the second. Vic dragging the pivot foot up top, but they didn't call that. Gets down the lane, all the way inside against Booker. Booker had him covered off to UTEC, trying to back in against Myron. Gets inside and scores it. Nice move.
Yeah, first time he's hurt us this half.
9-point ball game. 3:34 to go. Somebody come help out. Inbound, it'll come to Raymer. Max saying clear out. I'll bring it up.
Well, we're back down to 9. We led by as many as 19.
It'll go to Booker. Stop moving off the ball. Just, you can take a look. Butler all the way out at the timeline now.
Yeah, we're running so much clock, and then we
Isolation all the time instead of just run your offense. Butler got in deep. Passes to the corner. Carter goes underneath. Beautiful pass, and Booker almost lost the ball going up, and he scores it.
Carter has been our offensive player the last 3 minutes.
52-41 UTEC against Booker. Skip pass right corner, tipped away by Carter and out of bounds. Covered a lot of ground to knock that one away, and we've got immediate timeout, 2:47 to go in the ball game.
The clock becoming the Blue Devils' biggest opponent right now.
Yeah, I would agree. 30-second break. Let's take that. We're coming right back. Pointer men's basketball, WPCN.
From small-town businesses to large multi-state operations.
Remaining. Stevens Point up 52-41 on your Final Score Sports Bar and Grill scoreboard. Plan your before and after game get together at the Final Score, second of Maria Stevens Point.
Well, this possession does a lot to dictate what Stout has to do. If they can hit a 3 and go down 8, they can just come back and play their man-man half court. If they don't, at some point you think they're going to really have to ratchet it up, start to double and chase and get into more of a full effort denial press. See what happens here.
On the floor to UTEC. Hand off Vic. Switch off now against Booker. Vic in on the baseline. It'll go to Shore. Shore against Raymer. He'll go up and score that.
Yeah, mismatch. We had nobody big enough to guard him. So now it's only,
a 9-point
lead.
Inbound, Raymer double teamed off the inbound, and Max calls a timeout. Well, I don't think he needed that. He had Butler all alone up the left sideline.
He didn't see him, and sometimes when you're in that trap, Scotty, you lose your vision. But he certainly had Butler right in front of him, and would have been an easy pass. He didn't want to turn it over, and he took the timeout. Now what are we down to? One.
And Stout has 2.
Yep.
That's why it's a big timeout to have to take there. But better than
And now-
turning it over. There's no doubt about that. Aspirus Health, passion for excellence, compassion for people.
That does give the Blue Devils a full timeout to work and set their defense now.
All right.
Probably
43.
The problem for the Pointers right now is if they go into the big guy, sure, we don't have we've got a hands team on the floor now. We have nobody that can really guard the big guy.
Yeah. Well, Booker will have to be that guy, I guess.
He's going to have to.
Last couple of times, though, they got a switch off early with Booker way out on the wing, which I'm sure that's what they wanted. Inbound, it'll come to Myron. Seth picked up his dribble quickly off to Carter. Got to get it across the timeline, and Carter does. Stoik all over him. Carter down to the left corner. Gives it out to Josiah. A wide open 3. Buried it. Big shot for Josiah Butler. 55-43, 2 minutes to go.
That was the biggest shot of the night.
Big
Oh, boy.
pick and roll. Shore will dunk it inside.
I know we're trying to play small with hands, but then we give up an easy 2 to the big guy without any clock really going, Scotty.
Well, the good thing is they didn't stop the clock when it went out of bounds, so you lost or picked up. Oh, now a
Turned
turnover.
it over.
Josiah got double teamed, lost it. UTEC down the lane, lays it up.
Oh boy, fellas. We just have
Well, they're
troubles.
coming with the trap, and we're just walking right into it.
Yeah, we have troubles closing games up.
Carter Combs with 1:28 to go. Left side to Butler. Move the basketball here. Butler poked away again by Vic. Butler wants a foul, not going to get it. UTEC will get it, blocked by Booker, and a foul. But what are you doing out there?
Well,
You're
you know
just
what?
bouncing the ball around.
And unfortunately, we've seen that by Josiah before at the end of games. He gets sort of loose with the ball. That's where your point guard, Carter's got to say, give me the ball. I want it.
Booker came to save a gimme 2. Now at least UTEC will have to make 2 free ones.
And this will get it down to just 6. That's 2 possessions. And it was just an 11-point game, and then you get loose with the basketball.
First one is good for UTEC.
Man.
Yeah, really no excuse. I mean, we love Josiah, but that, at the end of the game, you can't just stand there and dribble the ball. You didn't even shield it against the defender.
No,
you just dribbled it right in front of him.
And what do we always, what are you taught from the time be strong with the ball, right?
All right, second one to make it a 2-possession game for A.J. UTEC, and he does.
Boy, oh boy, fellas.
55-49, game not over.
2
Stout with 2 timeouts,
Oh,
don't
no.
forget.
A lot of game
First, get the ball on the floor. You did. It'll go back to Carter Combs. They come with the trap. Carter bounces it up. Myron underneath. Short covered it up on the back end. It'll go out to Butler. You're going to need a score. Butler with the dribble. Over it'll come to Logan. Back out to Josiah. Shot clock 14.
Go.
He's holding it at the timeline again. UTEC. Logan with the screen. Butler inside the arc. Gives it across the way to Raymer. Raymer drives down to the baseline. Fadeaway jumper. Got it! Max Raymer with a huge shot. He's got 4. Pointers up 8. UTEC down the lane. Lays it up and in. That was way too easy.
I know you don't want to foul, but boy, stop the ball. What you want to do in that circumstance, Scotty, is make the guy that's got the ball early give it up. Make him pass. Make him go side to side.
39.6, and because they scored so quickly, they're right back in there.
Yeah, but I think they're going to have to foul here at 39-6. They really can't let us use the 30. I mean, they're going to chase and trap. We've given them the ball a couple of times. So they're going to come at us as hard as they can. I would think they'll trap the first pass, maybe the second. Once we get it over, then look for them to foul. Maybe let, 9-10 seconds go by and see if you can't get a steal.
Well, we knew it would be difficult, and then you got a little breathing room, and maybe you exhaled a little bit as a player, and lo and behold, here they are
About
on the doorstep again.
About 9 minutes ago, this was
It was over.
A 19-point lead. And we were still up 52-41. In fact, by 12 points at 2 minutes when Josiah Butler hit the three, 55-43. So we've been outscored 8-2 since that time. Just costly turnovers.
All right, 40 seconds to go. Point needs to inbound. Toss it into Butler. On ahead to the front court. Takes it down toward the corner. Comes back with the dribble off to Carter Combs.
Well,
and the foul is on Stoit.
pretty much what you expected. They could not let too much clock run there.
It's a 1-and-1, so Carter has to make some free throws.
Well,
You need at least one of them.
well, you
right?
want to get this to a 3-possession game. And the next foul, Scotty, will also be in 1-and-1. So they're going to make us
earn them.
And you know how much pressure there is in these circumstances at all levels of basketball. You see it in the Division I all the time.
Booker in for Bumgartner. Carter at the line. Front end of a 1-and-1 here. The sophomore out of Stevens Point.
Oh, somebody
Shore into
stepped
the lane
in.
early, and fortunate because you're going to get a redo.
Oh, boy, a huge mistake.
Wow.
If we make this one, that's...
Although, in all honesty, him stepping in early before Carter came close might have taken his concentration off.
Distracted him is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yep. I buy that.
Carter will redo this one. And he got it.
I don't think Carter's missed 2 in a row since I've been watching him at Spash. Well, that's big. Now you're at a 3-possession game. But you don't want him to score in 4 seconds either.
No, you do have to
You want to make him give up the ball, make a couple passes before you give him up a layup.
Got the second one as well. Pointers are up by 8, 59-51.
Stop the ball, make him pass. Stop the ball, make him pass.
Vic into the front court.
There you go.
Gets it over. Stoik a deep three. Rims off, no rebound. Carter Combs.
Who else? Who else? I'll tell you what. The last 5 minutes, Carter has been the salvation on this team, Scotty, in terms of scoring and making some great passes, and that time getting yet another rebound.
And what is he, John? Coach's kid.
Well, there you go. What do they say about coaches' kids?
Yeah.
Nobody ever accused my play of being a coach's kid kind of play.
No.
I was a
Nor
milkman's kid, Scotty.
Yeah.
Blue collar.
I was a policeman's kid, and that means we wore boots and we stayed on the sideline. Carter's free throw good. We cheered from the stands.
But Fond du Lac, you didn't wear blue though. You were a red team.
We were red and
Cardinals,
white.
and I was black and orange at West Salem.
Yeah. Doesn't matter what color the uni is.
Yep.
Carter can make it a 10-point game, and that should.
We
pretty
wore
much ice it.
we wore those low-cut Converse shoes.
Yes.
Remember those?
Yeah.
And everybody had the same pair of shoes.
You got that right. UTEC on the wing. A deep three off the rim into the corner.
That'll
Long
do it.
rebound. Myron into the front court. Will stop. Goes to Booker. And he'll throw it down with 9 seconds to go. Josh Booker from Myron. You're going to win this one 63-51. Stevens Point.
They're just going to let it go. They're not even going to shoot.
Yep.
Game over.
All right, Stevens Point, after a bit of a scare once again here at the end, will at least still be in first place. We'll find out about the other scores, but you know you're not going to move down the standings with this one.
Now, Scotty, you know, we gave 56 points in the second half to the Blue Devils over in Menominee. They scored 51 in the whole game tonight. I think we turned that around pretty well.
I would agree with that. Pointers 63, Blue Devils 51. Back here in a couple of minutes, UW Stevens Point men's basketball on WPCN.